His lips crashed into mine with the desperation of 3 years' worth of silence, and suddenly the world made sense. Ryu tasted like soju and something darker, longing maybe, or the kind of hunger that comes from starving yourself for too long. His hands were in my hair, pulling me closer on our worn couch, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, could only feel the solid weight of him pressing me into the cushions. "Akira," he groaned against my mouth, and the sound of my name in that broken, needy voice sent electricity down my spine. I can't keep pretending anymore. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. Ryu Park, my straight, perpetually dating girl's roommate, was kissing me like I was oxygen and he'd been underwater for years. "Ryu, you're drunk," I managed to gasp out, even as my traitorous hands gripped his shirt, pulling him back when he started to pull away. "Drunk on you," he murmured, his forehead pressed against mine, dark eyes burning with something I'd only ever seen in my dreams. "I've been drunk on you since the moment we met. 6 hours earlier. I should have known something was off when Ryu declined going to the party." "You're really not going?" I asked, looking up from my sketchbook as he sprawled on the couch in our Hongdae apartment, still in his business casual from his internship. "Isn't Suwa going to be there?" Suwa, the latest girlfriend. Pretty, bubbly, everything I wasn't. "We broke up," he said flatly, scrolling through his phone. My heart did that stupid hopeful flutter it always did, even though I knew better. "Oh, sorry." "Don't be." His eyes met mine briefly before darting away. "She said I was emotionally unavailable. That I was always somewhere else." I wanted to ask where, but the look on his face stopped me. Instead, I went back to my sketch, cherry blossoms falling over Seoul Tower, romantic and impossible like everything I wanted. An hour later, he left. Didn't say where. I told myself I didn't care. But when he came back at midnight, stumbling through our door with flushed cheeks and glassy eyes, I couldn't pretend anymore. "Bad night?" I asked, setting down my pencil. "The worst," he laughed bitterly, leaning against the doorframe. "And the best? I figured something out, Akira." "What's that?" "That I'm a fucking coward." He pushed off the frame, walking toward me with unsteady steps. The moonlight from our window caught in his dark hair, made him look like something from a manhwa. That I've been lying to everyone. Especially myself. My mouth went dry. "Ryu, you know what's funny?" He dropped onto the couch beside me, so close our thighs touched. "All those girls. I thought if I dated enough of them, if I acted normal enough, these feelings would go away." "What feelings?" I barely whispered. He turned to face me, and the raw vulnerability in his expression stole my breath. "The ones that make me watch you sketch for hours. The ones that make me jealous when that guy from your art class walks you home. The ones that make me lie awake at night, knowing you're just on the other side of that wall and I can't." He reached out, fingers trembling as they traced my jaw. "I can't keep pretending I don't want you." "You're straight," I said stupidly, even as I leaned into his touch. "No," he breathed. "I'm just scared. But Akira, I've been in love with you for 3 years. Since that freshman party when you told me about your art, and your eyes lit up like the whole universe was inside them. Every day since then it's been you." Then he kissed me and everything I'd carefully locked away came flooding out. His mouth was insistent, desperate, asking questions with his tongue that I answered with soft gasps. When he pulled me onto his lap, I went willingly, 3 years of longing making me bold. My fingers tangled in his hair as he groaned into my mouth, hands sliding under my shirt, burning trails across my skin. "Is this real?" I broke away to ask, panting. "Because if you're just drunk and confused, I've never been more clear about anything in my life." He pulled back just enough to look at me, and there were tears in his eyes. "I'm terrified, Akira. Terrified of what my family will say, what people will think. But I'm more terrified of losing you without ever telling you the truth." I kissed him again, softer this time, tasting the salt of his tears mixed with soju. "You're not losing me. Sleep in my bed tonight," he whispered against my lips. "Just let me hold you. We'll figure everything else out tomorrow." We stumbled to his room, and he pulled me down onto his mattress, wrapping around me like he was afraid I'd disappear. His face buried in my neck, breathing me in. "I love you," he murmured into my skin. God, it feels so good to finally say it. "I love you, Akira Chen. I'm done hiding." I turned in his arms to face him, our noses touching in the darkness. "I love you too. I've loved you since you helped me move in and couldn't figure out how to assemble my desk." He laughed, the sound watery and relieved. "That desk was impossible." "You're impossible," I smiled, kissing him again, slow and sweet. We fell asleep tangled together, his heartbeat steady against my back, and for the first time in 3 years, I let myself hope. Tomorrow would bring reality, complications, fears, difficult conversations. But tonight, in the quiet of our Seoul apartment with spring cherry blossoms drifting past the window, Ryu Park was mine. And I was finally his. Ryu's hand slid up my thigh under the restaurant table, and I nearly choked on my bibimbap. "Stop," I hissed under my breath, shooting him a warning glare while our friends laughed about something across from us. "Can't help it," he murmured, leaning close enough that his breath tickled my ear. "You look too good in that shirt." This was our life now. 3 months of stolen touches, secret glances, and pretending we were just roommates while burning for each other behind closed doors. It was intoxicating and exhausting all at once. "Ryu Hyung, you coming to the club later?" Jiho asked, his sharp eyes flickering between us suspiciously. "Nah, early morning tomorrow," Ryu lied smoothly, removing his hand. "Akira and I will probably just head back." The way he said "her" and sent warmth through my chest, even as frustration coiled in my stomach. Always together, never actually together. Busan was supposed to be our escape. The beach trip was Jiho's idea. 5 friends crammed into 2 hotel rooms for a long weekend. Ryu and I volunteered to share, trying to act casual about it, like we weren't counting down the hours until we could be alone. "This view is incredible," I breathed, stepping onto our balcony as the sunset painted Houndy Beach in orange and gold. Ryu came up behind me, and for a moment, just a moment, he wrapped his arms around my waist, chin resting on my shoulder. "Not as incredible as you." I melted into him, letting myself pretend this was normal, that we could just be like this always. "Guys, we're heading to the club." Jiho's voice came through the door, shattering the moment. Ryu jumped back like I'd burned him. "You coming?" Miho poked his head in. "I'm tired," I said quickly. "Think I'll stay back." "Me too," Ryu added. "All that sun, you know?" Jiho's eyes narrowed slightly, but he shrugged. "Suit yourselves. Don't wait up." The moment the door closed behind them, the air in our room changed, charged with electricity and possibility. Finally, Ryu breathed, crossing the space between us in 3 strides. He kissed me hard, backing me up against the balcony door, and I gasped as the cool glass pressed against my back. The moonlight spilled over us, the ocean roaring below, and suddenly nothing else mattered. "I've been dying to do this all day," he groaned, his lips trailing down my neck as his hands explored under my shirt. "Watching you in those swim shorts, knowing I couldn't touch you, it was torture." "Ryu," I gasped as he lifted me, my legs wrapping around his waist instinctively. "Someone might see." "Let them," he growled, carrying me inside and kicking the balcony door shut. He laid me on the bed with surprising gentleness, hovering over me with dark, hungry eyes. "I'm so tired of hiding you." "Then don't," I challenged, pulling him down by his shirt. Our clothes disappeared piece by piece, punctuated by desperate kisses and whispered confessions. His hands mapped every inch of my skin like he was memorizing a masterpiece, and I arched into his touch, greedy for more. "You're so beautiful," he murmured against my collarbone, his fingers tracing patterns that made me shiver. "I think about this constantly. About you, about us." "Show me," I breathed, pulling his face back to mine. "Show me what you think about." He did. God, he did. The ocean waves crashed outside as we lost ourselves in each other, finally allowing our bodies to express what our words couldn't say in public. It was desperate and tender, passionate and sweet, everything I'd dreamed of and more. Afterward, tangled in the sheets with his heartbeat strong against my ear, He pressed a kiss to my hair. I love you, he whispered. I love you so much it scares me. Then stop hiding us, I said softly, even though I knew it wasn't that simple. Tell people. Tell your family. His body tensed against mine. Akira, you know it's complicated. Is it? I sat up, pulling the sheet around me. Or are you just ashamed? No. He grabbed my hand, his eyes pleading. Never. I could never be ashamed of you. But my family, they're traditional. Korean. My father has expectations. And I'm not one of them. The silence was deafening. I need time, he finally said, his voice breaking. Please, just give me time to figure out how to tell them. I wanted to be understanding. I wanted to be patient. But 3 months of secret touches and hidden love was wearing me down. How much time, Ryu? A year? What? Until you find a nice girl your mother approves of and I'm just your roommate you visit on weekends? That's not fair. None of this is fair. I stood up, grabbing my clothes. I love you. I want to hold your hand in public. I want to be yours, really yours, not just behind closed doors. He stood too, naked and vulnerable, tears streaming down his face. You are mine. You've always been mine. Then prove it, I whispered. He pulled me close, kissing me with something like desperation. I will. Promise I will. Just don't give up on me. I kissed him back, tasting his tears, wanting so badly to believe him. That night, we made love slowly, tenderly, like we were trying to memorize each other's souls. But as I fell asleep in his arms, watching the Busan moonlight paint silver across his beautiful face, I wondered how long I could keep living in the shadows of his fear. Outside, the ocean kept its secrets. Inside, we kept ours. I knew we were over the moment I heard his mother's voice through our apartment door. Ryu. Surprise! My blood turned to ice. I was in the kitchen, wearing Ryu's oversized shirt, my hair still messy from where his fingers had been tangled in it 20 minutes ago. The evidence of us was everywhere. 2 coffee cups, my sketch of him sleeping on the couch, his jacket draped over my chair. Yama? Ryu's voice pitched higher, panicked. He shot me a desperate look as he opened the door. What are you doing here? A mother needs a reason to visit her son? She swept in, elegant in her hanbok-inspired dress, and then I saw her, the girl trailing behind with a shy smile. My heart shattered. This is Minji, Director Kim's daughter. I thought you two should meet, his mother beamed, completely oblivious to how Ryu had gone pale. She just returned from studying in London. Isn't she lovely? Very lovely, Ryu said mechanically, not looking at me as I backed toward my room. Akira, this is my mother and Minji. Nice to meet you, I managed, my voice hollow. I have studying to do. I closed my door and pressed my back against it, listening to his mother's delighted chatter, Ryu's polite laughter, the sound of my world crumbling. Through the thin walls, I heard everything. She's perfect for you, Ryu. Good family, educated, beautiful. I'm not really looking to date right now. Nonsense. You're 24. It's time to think about your future. An hour passed. Then 2. I packed my bag mechanically, folding clothes I'd left in his room, gathering pieces of myself I'd scattered throughout this apartment we'd made into a home. When his mother finally left, Ryu burst into my room without knocking. Akira, I'm so sorry, I didn't know she was coming. Stop. I didn't turn around, just kept packing. Just stop, Ryu. What are you doing? His voice cracked when he saw my bag. What does it look like? I finally faced him, and the devastation in his eyes almost broke my resolve. Almost. I'm leaving. No. He crossed the room in 2 strides, grabbing my wrists. No, you can't. Please, Akira, I just need more time. Time for what? I yanked my hands free. Time to introduce more girls to? Time to keep pretending I don't exist? I can't do this anymore, Ryu. I can't be your secret while you parade potential wives around. That's not fair. You know what my family is like. I know you're a coward. The words exploded out of me, bitter and true. You say you love me, but you won't fight for me. You won't even acknowledge me. His face crumpled. That's not true. Isn't it? Your mother was here for 2 hours, Ryu. 2 hours of you laughing with that girl, being the perfect son, while I hid in my room like some dirty secret. You're not a secret. Then what am I? I shouted, tears streaming down my face. What are we, Ryu? Because I'm tired of not knowing. The silence stretched between us like a chasm. I love you, he whispered finally, desperately. That's not enough. I picked up my bag. Not anymore. He moved fast, pinning me against the wall, the bag falling from my hands. His face was inches from mine, tears streaming down his cheeks, and I hated how much I still wanted him. Don't leave, he begged, his voice breaking. Please, Kira, don't leave me. I'll fix this. I'll figure it out. When? I demanded, even as my traitorous body leaned into his warmth. Give me a date, Ryu. Tell me when you'll stop hiding. His silence was my answer. That's what I thought. I tried to push him away, but he held firm. I'm scared, he admitted, his forehead pressed against mine. I'm terrified of losing them. My family is everything to me. And what am I? The question hung in the air between us, sharp and cutting. You're everything too, he whispered. You're my everything, Kira. I don't know how to choose. You shouldn't have to choose, I said quietly, my anger draining into exhaustion. That's the problem, Ryu. Love shouldn't require you to choose between being happy and being yourself. He kissed me then, desperate and pleading, and I kissed him back because I was weak, because I loved him, because this might be the last time. I'll tell them, he said against my lips, tasting like salt and promises. I swear to you, Akira, I'll tell them. Just give me one more chance. Please. Words are easy, Ryu. I pulled back to look at him. I need action. I need you to choose me publicly, completely. Or I'm gone. I will, he promised, pulling me close. I'll do it. I'll tell them everything. Just don't leave tonight. Please, stay one more night. I should have said no. Should have walked out and saved myself more heartbreak. But when he led me to his bed, when he made love to me with trembling hands and whispered apologies, I let myself believe him one more time. We held each other in the darkness of his room, the Seoul city lights flickering through the window, and I memorized the feeling of his heartbeat against mine. 2 weeks, I whispered into the night. I'll give you 2 weeks to tell your family. After that, I'm done, Ryu. I can't keep breaking my own heart for you. 2 weeks, he agreed, tightening his arms around me. I promise, Akira. I won't let you down. But as I drifted off to sleep, I wondered if he was making a promise he could keep, or just telling me what I needed to hear. Outside, Seoul kept spinning. Inside, we held on to each other like we were drowning. Maybe we were. Are you sure about this? I asked for the 10th time, adjusting my tie in the mirror of our apartment. Ryu came up behind me, fixing my collar with steady hands even though I could see the tremor in them. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. It had been 13 days since my ultimatum. 13 days of Ryu making phone calls, having tense conversations in Korean I couldn't fully understand, and finally, yesterday, booking a private room at a traditional restaurant in Insadong. Tonight, he'd said, taking my hands in his. I'm telling them tonight. Will you come with me? Now, standing in our bedroom dressed in formal attire, the reality hit me like a tsunami. What if they disown you? I whispered. He turned me around, cupping my face in his hands. Then I'll have you. That's enough. Ryu. No. He kissed me softly. I spent 3 years lying to myself and 6 months lying to them. I'm done, Akira. I choose you. I choose us. The restaurant was beautiful, all warm wood and paper screens, the smell of traditional Korean food filling the air. Ryu's parents sat across from us, his mother elegant in hanbok, his father stern in a dark suit. His younger sister Ji-won was there too, giving me curious glances. So formal, Rhea? His mother smiled, though I could see the confusion in her eyes. What's this about? And why is your roommate here? Ryu's hand found mine under the table, squeezing tight. I squeezed back, giving him strength. Yama, Appa, He began in Korean, then switched to English. For me, I realized so I could understand every word. I asked you here because I need to tell you something important. Something I should have told you a long time ago. His father's expression hardened. His mother's smile faltered. This is Akira, Ryu continued, his voice gaining strength. And he's not just my roommate. He's the person I love. The person I'm in love with. The person I want to spend the rest of my life with. The silence was deafening. I felt his mother's eyes on me, wide with shock. His father's face turned to stone. Ryu, what are you saying? His mother whispered in Korean. I'm saying I'm in love with a man. I'm saying I've been lying to you, to myself, for years. And I can't do it anymore. He lifted our joined hands above the table, and I saw his mother flinch. I'm gay, Ama. And Akira is my boyfriend. His father stood abruptly, chair scraping against the floor. This is unacceptable. Appa. No, son of mine. He switched to rapid Korean, his voice rising, and I caught words like disgrace and family honor, even with my limited understanding. Then I'm not your son. Ryu's voice was steady, but I felt him shaking. Because I'm not giving him up. Not for you, not for anyone. His mother's eyes filled with tears. Ryu, think about what you're saying. I have thought about it. For 6 months, I've thought about nothing else. He looked at me, and the love in his eyes made my chest tight. I was miserable pretending to be someone I'm not. But with Akira, I'm finally myself. I'm finally happy. You're throwing away your future, his father shouted. Your career, your family. I'm choosing my future, Ryu said firmly. The one I actually want to live. His father grabbed his coat. We're leaving. Wait. His mother stood, torn between her husband and her son. Yobo, let's go, his father commanded. She looked at Ryu, at me, and I saw something crack in her expression. Pain, confusion, but also something that might have been understanding. You're my son, she whispered, touching Ryu's face. You'll always be my son. Then she followed her husband out, leaving us in the wreckage. Ji-won stood slowly. Appa, she said quietly, I think you're really brave. She gave me a small smile. Take care of him, Akira-san. Then she was gone too, and we were alone. Ryu's facade crumbled. He buried his face in his hands, shoulders shaking, and I pulled him close, holding him while he broke apart. I'm so proud of you, I whispered into his hair. So proud. Did I just lose my family? He choked out. No, I said firmly, remembering his mother's words. You gave them a choice. Now they have to make it. Back at our apartment, fairy lights twinkling in the December darkness, Ryu pulled me onto our couch. Not his couch, not my couch, but ours. I meant what I said, he murmured, his arms wrapped tight around me. I choose you, Akira. Every day, for the rest of my life, I choose you. I turned to face him, snow falling past our window like a blessing. You were never really straight, were you? He laughed, the sound watery but genuine. Maybe not. But I've always been yours. I kissed him then, soft and deep, tasting his courage and his tears and his love. I'm proud of you, I said again. You have no idea how proud. I'm terrified, he admitted. But I'm free. For the first time in my life, I'm actually free. We made love that night surrounded by fairy lights and falling snow, finally able to be ourselves without fear, without hiding. It was tender and desperate and perfect. A celebration of truth, of choice, of love that refused to stay hidden. Later, wrapped in blankets and each other, my phone buzzed. It's from your mom, I said, showing him the message. Give me time. But I want to understand. Come for Lunar New Year. Ryu's eyes filled with tears again, but this time they were hopeful. She's trying. She's your mother, I said softly. She loves you. She just needs time to understand. He kissed my forehead, pulling me closer. We have time. We have all the time in the world. Outside, Seoul sparkled under winter stars. Inside, we were finally home. In our apartment, in our truth, in each other's arms.